Zoe, where are you right now? When are you going to stop playing around out there and come back home? You're not out there doing something questionable behind our backs right now, correct? I'm sorry about that, Denise. A new customer and I were just getting carried away a bit too much with our talks. It'll only be another hour or so before I'm back to the company. You're saying another hour when it's already 5 p.m.? Hurry up and get back here. And now that I think about it, have you gone over to that Sid's construction firm yet today to wish them a Happy New Year? I did that over the phone today. You can't be doing something like that over the phone. That company's been around for ages, and they do things the old-fashioned way. You go over to their company right now and wish them a Happy New Year in person. Well, if that's what you want, don't you think it'd be more acceptable if you went and saw them? They are a very important customer of ours, after all. Why should I have to go over there? Going around and talking to our customers is something a low-level employee like you should be doing. I'm far too specialized in my work to be dealing with company relations. All right, then. When I get back to you guys, I'll make an appointment to go and see them. Please do. And once you've done that, I'd like you to finish up on this month's financial documents and have them on my desk. Have you finished everything that has to do with the company's taxes yet? If we don't get those in soon, we'll be in big trouble. Just give me a little bit longer and I'll have all of that finished up. I plan to continue with that work the moment I get back to the office. Make sure not to dilly-dally anymore, okay? And at 6 p.m., you need to start preparing dinner, so don't forget that. I'd like to have some fish and vegetables for dinner tonight, so you can work on the company's taxes once you've gone and made dinner. And finish up cleaning the bathroom and doing the laundry before getting back to work. Denise, I only have one of me right now, okay? Having to do all the chores and cook and then come back and do office work all in a few hours? Please stop giving me so much work to do, all right? And what's the worst is that right now I'm going to have to do your job as well now. Well, you are my son's wife, so you're the one out of this whole family that has to be the most busy. There is no such thing as time to relax when you're a young wife. You knew that you would be joining a family that runs a company, so you should have been ready from the get-go to be working non-stop. So stop trying to act like this is all too much for you to handle now. But with the amount of things you're wanting me to do right now, it's getting a bit overwhelming. If you leave me with this much to do tonight, I won't be able to get all of it done. At the very least, can you handle scheduling that appointment for me to go and visit Sid's office? If not, I'll have to do all of that work on top of the financial paperwork and the taxes. Why are you trying so hard to get out of doing your job? You have experience in doing both office work and running a company, right? You told us before that you went from doing a lot of paper pushing to then working with running a business. It was because of all that experience you have that I allowed you to marry my son. I can see that now, but if you have the experience in both of those fields, then you should be doing both. Right now, this world doesn't have enough people in it with experience doing both those things. If we let you get off easily, then other employees in the company would begin to struggle. But I'm struggling right now. Stop complaining so much about your job. I was in the same boat as you back when I was your age, where I had to struggle a lot. It's your job as the wife to be struggling until the new wife is brought into the family. So stop wasting time complaining and just get back to work. Denise, I think that I'll be going back to my parents' house for a little bit tomorrow. So I'll be taking a little bit of time off work. I'm sorry. Excuse me? What's gotten into you that it's made you say something like that to me? I just got a call from my parents a moment ago, and it seems that my dad has fallen pretty badly. And after the fall, he had a lot of internal bleeding. And if I try leaving now, I won't be able to get on any plane to take me back, so I'll be leaving first thing tomorrow morning. He had some internal bleeding, and because of that, I'm a bit worried about his health, so I'd like to go back home and watch over him for a bit. And why do you think they need you back over there? It's not like your dad is dying or anything, right? I'm aware of that, but I'm still worried about him. Even if you're worried and want to go see him, nothing's going to change the situation for him. He'll be staying in the hospital for a little while, right? So you have nothing to worry about regarding him. You can go over there the day he dies, okay? Stop saying such heartless things like that, please. I understand that he's not dying, but he could still have something very bad that happens to him, which would make it likely for him to pass away. Well, until then, there's no reason for you to be going, right? You are going to be busy tomorrow. You stay right here and you will work your job tomorrow just like everyone else will. You have things that you have to do here, and that's all. What are you talking about, Denise? I will not allow you to go back to your parents' home. I'm not going over there to play around or anything, though. Are you telling me that even after my dad has had a bad fall, me going home to see him is unforgivable? In any normal company, they would allow me to take the time off to go and see my family. Well, that would be the case if you were any normal employee, but you're not, right? You're this family's youngest wife, and the youngest wife does not get such privileges. That right there is the stupidest excuse I have ever heard for you not letting me go to see my dad who's in the hospital. I know that I'm the new wife in your family, but I did not enter your family to become a slave to you and this company. You saying that it's all okay because I'm the young wife is really screwed up. Do you really think you're in the position to be acting on your own? You are the most ignorant wife I've ever seen. We have let you into this house, into this family, so you give your body and your time to us. That is the point of you becoming my son's wife, and you cannot break away from that. I'm not okay with any of that. If, per se, there was something that seriously happened to my dad that put him close to death, and you guys kept me from going away to see him before he passed away, I'd regret my life forever and ever. And so what? That all has nothing to do with me and my family. Nothing to do with you and your family? So you don't care about what happens to my dad, then? That's right. He's not my problem, and I couldn't care less about him. This company and my family do not have time to sit around due to some stranger dying. And I'm sure that your dad wishes that you'd just leave him alone and do your job here in my family and for the company. If you were just to go home and leave my family and the company, you would be the biggest disappointment ever for him, right? Well, I'm also worried about my mom right now. I feel that she's in shock now after having to see my dad, her husband, have that bad of a fall. And so as their daughter, it's my job to be back with them by their sides until things go back to normal. If your mother is that worked up over her husband falling over and getting a few cuts, then she's a huge pussy. Don't tell me that she's some kind of a housewife. Maybe if her husband leaves her now, she won't be able to do anything on her own. You stop talking bad about my mom right now. I don't have to talk kindly about your mother, Zoe. Now understand that I will not be allowing you to go back to your parents. That's the end of this discussion. You understand? Hey, where the hell are you right now? I have been looking for you all over the house and can't seem to find you anywhere here. Don't you dare tell me that you went back to your parents' house without my permission. I got on the first plane this morning, and I've already landed here and will be arriving at the hospital my dad is in here soon. I told you that I was not going to allow you to go back to your parents. You are not allowed to take off work just because your dad is having a little emergency. Who told you today that you could take the day off and go there? I didn't get anyone's permission to come home, and so that's why I left anyway. I couldn't waste my time any longer trying to get you to agree to let me come back here when my dad is in trouble. You are both an employee for this company and the wife in my family. You are only allowed to focus on my family and our company. Right now, you are showing me that you are not cut out to be a wife to my son or my family. Do you think after something like what you've just done, I'm ever going to let you do anything on your own again? When you get back here, I'm going to make sure you understand just how much you need to change in order to be treated like a human again. You don't have to worry about teaching me any lessons. I quit both my job at your company and my job as your son's wife. I left the divorce paperwork and my letter of resignation there for you all. Huh? What kind of bullcrap are you spewing out of that mouth of yours? I have had enough of that life. Having to live with you all and work for that company was far too much for me. So I'm going to act on how exhausted I've become there and come back to my family for good. Are you right in the head right now? You understand that right now is one of the most important and busy times for the company. Do you plan to make all of us here struggle due to your incompetence? I told you before that there are not many people around that have your experience and that we rely on you. So what? It's not my job to worry about not having anyone else to hire to do the work you forced me to do. Not having enough employees is something the business owners should be worried about, right? You're not taking any responsibility for what you've done? You have no place saying that to me. Ever since I married your son, I have had to work for your company nonstop. You heard that I had some experience working in and helping run a business, and that's what made you force me to have to keep up on customer relations and do all of the financial work for you. And on top of that, you've made sure that I do all the chores and cooking in the house. Yet even after all the work I've been forced to do, you guys are still worrying about work? Well, it's your job as the wife to do all of that work for us. That's it right there, Denise. Huh? I have been working long days and given up a lot of my sleep to get all of the work I've been forced to do done, and not once have any of you thanked me for that. And never have you guys seemed to be struggling yourselves, right? I'm not just talking about you either, Denise. I'm saying this about you, my husband, your husband. Well, I've had enough of that life there, and I've learned that it was wrong of me to stay with you all as long as I did. You were working in the hopes that we'd thank you for that? Stop trying to make yourself seem worthy of our thanks, okay? I've told you so many times now that it's your job as the wife to do all of the work. I can't believe that women these days think they don't have to work as much when they become a wife. Who is the real one here that is getting off easy? You have been giving me all of your work as well that you're supposed to be doing, and you pretty much don't have to make an effort to have your company run smoothly. I have seen you over there in your office plenty of times now, sitting behind that desk eating chips and sweets while you complain about the rest of us who are actually working. Is there even a reason for you to be a part of this company anymore? Because as far as I can tell, you are just taking up valuable space in the office. Not me, but you are the one that's not taking any responsibility for what you've been doing. I've heard enough of that crap from you today, Zoe. I am the one that owns the company, and so I can do whatever I want as long as you do my work. So is that the reason why not enough people are working in the company? I think in your case, calling you a manager or boss is only a name at this point and nothing else. You could never do any of the work you're supposed to, and that's why you force everyone else to do your job while you complain. If your job as the boss is just to complain all day and eat, then even a child can do your job. Are you trying to say that I am stupid and useless? You make it sound a bit rude, but to be straight up, yes. I've known for a while now that the only experience of working that you've ever had is within that company, right? I think you should go find another job within a different company for a bit and see what it's really like to have to work a 9-to-5 job. I'm sure that they'll realize how useless you are there, though, and you'll lose your job in no time. You stop all of this screwing around right now, you pile of garbage wife. If you don't want to come back here, then go off and do whatever makes you happy. I don't ever want to see you come back here again, actually. I don't want you in my family or my company ever again. And thank goodness for that, because I wasn't planning on coming back to any of you after this. And if your company starts to fall apart soon, don't come crying back to me asking for my help. Because I am literally never coming back. Who do you think is going to be the one crying and asking for help? I may be lacking some employees here now, but I'll just start pushing your work onto some of the other people within the company. The work you did here can be done by anyone, you know. So I could pick anyone off the street to come in, and they would do a better job than you ever could here. Is that so? Well, that's great to hear. Then I hope you all continue to do your best there. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Are you doing all right, Denise? Why are you texting me, of all people, right now? You go and talk to my son or my husband if you have something to ask or say. But you never ended up blocking me, right? That's probably because you have really wanted me to come back to you, right? No, actually, you need me to come back to you, or else you'll be in a whole lot of trouble, right? You must have heard something from my son then, huh? I did. I heard all about what's been going on. Ever since I quit my job at your company, things have really been going off the deep end, right? So does that mean you were never able to find a good replacement for me? I told you that there are all sorts of replacements for you. Well, then why is your company falling apart so quickly? It seems that a lot of the connections that I had been maintaining with all of the customers have been cut now, right? Which sucks, because I put in a lot of effort and time to maintain a good business relation to all of them. What the hell did you do that caused all of them to run away from you? I haven't done anything to them. I had taken over your job working with all of those customers. But for some reason, when I began to work with all of them, they started to slowly trickle away. It pissed me off. Why were all the customers you had found such annoying and needy people? Were they all really that hard for you to work with? When I went to meet with them and talk about how I'd be handling them, they started to yell at me. Why did you have to find all of these stupid customers to work with my company? And what I'd really like to know is why, when you worked with all of them, they never acted that way towards you. I just did my job as always. But now that you mention it, I can see what might have happened. I remember back in the day when I first started doing customer relations work for an old company I was employed with, I was told that I really know how to handle rude and upset customers. And so you were even able to deal with all the jerks that have been customers to my company? Well, to be honest, I was able to work with you for a while as well, so I think I can handle anyone when it comes to maintaining relations. Maybe I should have told you sooner about how they all acted. Zoe, do you not see how much of all this has screwed us over here? Did you know that this would happen to my company and that's why you left? Well, I thought that you might be able to handle things back then. Really, I never thought things would go this far south with you losing most of everyone that worked with your own company. But that might be because the number one idiot within the company took over my job and tried to do it. Well, now you can see just how horrible you really are at doing your job. Stop that! I was not the one that messed up. Are you sure about that? Now that I think about what your son told me, there have been some issues with a lot of your employees now too, right? What kind of issues are you talking about? Are you talking about how recently all of my employees have started to have worse attitudes while at work? After you started to have issues handling your customers in those other companies, you began to push even more work onto the others, right? And after hearing about the problems you kept on causing again and again, they really lost patience in dealing with their work. So when you think about it, the reason all of them have a poor attitude now while at work is because you caused them to. But now it's too late for you to apologize to most of them, and I feel that they will start to leave the company and destroy it from the inside out. I heard about the whole situation from your son. I have not done anything wrong that would make them act so out of line. But anytime you'd make your employees do more work for you to try to save your butt, you'd start going off on them because they don't know how to do your job, telling them to shut up and get back to work. And you'd ask them if they really wanted their next paycheck or not. I think when you start acting like that towards the employees that you already overwork, they have every right to be finished with you and want to leave. Really, Denise, you are a useless idiot when it comes to running a business. Well then, what would the right thing to do have been? I have been trying so hard to bring my company back up to snuff. But every time I talk with my husband and son about it, they tell me I should get you to come back and work for me. And they're even telling me to stay away from the office now. And that's the correct thing for them to tell you. All you've done by being in the company is caused it to become worse and worse. And all of the hate within the company that comes from the employees is primarily aimed at you. So if you keep coming into that place every day, I don't think they'll stick around. But I'm one of the owners of this company. I have to be here, right? You may be one of the owners, but you are not helpful when it comes to running the business. To be honest, the company even making it as far as it has under your rule without me is quite amazing. But I think that's all going to crumble away now. If you do not leave that company to professionals to handle and save, then it's going to become so bad that there will be no saving it. No saving it? You're not talking about bankruptcy, right? Well, it'll only be a matter of time now. I'm sure most of your employees are getting ready to find another job and move away from that toxic work environment. If I were still there, I would be online looking for other work right now. Hey, come back here and help me! All of the employees have even been asking me to get you to come back here and help us. I'm sure that just by having you back in the office, the employees will all start to brighten up a little again. Did you know that? That even before this, there were some close calls with your company? What do you mean? That back in the day, there have been employees within your company that knew you didn't know how to run the company and it made them all very anxious. But just because a lot of them were getting ready to quit, I was brought into your company. And when they told me about all the problems they had there, I tried my best to fix them so they would stay. I had to become the HR pretty much and work to maintain a relatively decent working environment. I did things like that for your company, Denise. Was that something that had been going on? I'm sorry about that. I never knew anything about that. But now I can finally see that you not being here is terrible for my business. So please come help me. I don't want to lose this company. That's because if that company goes under, you'll have to be the one taking responsibility for all of it, right? You should have already known that you have to be responsible for the company until the very end. But you can't try and push all your problems back onto me when you are responsible for them. And right now, that company's main problem is you, Denise. So, this is all my fault? What? Well, that's so strange, isn't it? You yourself had been the only wife in the family for the longest time before I came. Yet instead of helping that company and the family, you had been dragging it down. Maybe that means that you don't have what it takes to be a good wife? After that, I didn't listen anymore to Denise asking me non-stop to come back and help her, and I never did go and back there. And because of my continued absence from there, all of her employees continued to slowly quit, one by one. And because there were no longer enough hands in the office, the workload began to fall behind. And whatever remaining customers Denise had began to leave as well. Right now, that company is going through a lot of changes as the family went ahead and paid for a business consultant to come and help them get the company back on track. But in the end, all of that was for nothing, and the company continued to bleed lots and lots of money every day. Right now, they are very close to losing the company to bankruptcy. As for me and my family, my dad has made great work getting back on his own 2 feet and is even able to take small steps now to get around again. And currently, I work at my family's cafe helping brew coffees and make dishes. And since this isn't a big company anymore, the only customers I have to deal with are those that are hungry or thirsty and are very easy to please. I think if I had a cafe or store of my own, it'd be a whole lot of fun. So for the time I have living back with my parents, I think I'll take some time to think about what my next step will be and where I want to go.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.